Level 1. The replacement. You have a wife and a kid back in Ohio and a draft notice that showed up 6 weeks ago. You didn't volunteer. Uncle Sam picked your name out of a hat. Now you're at Fort Benning, Georgia, shivering at 5 a.m. in underwear that doesn't fit, holding an M1 Garand rifle you've never fired. They give you 17 weeks. Bayonet training, marksmanship, marching until your boots fill with blood. You gain 15 pounds. You learn to strip and reassemble your rifle in under a minute. You learn to dig a foxhole that might save your life. Then they put you on a train to Norfolk, Virginia, stuff you onto a troop ship with 5,000 other men, and send you across the Atlantic. Your pay is $50 a month. You send half of it home. Your wife gets $25 to feed herself and your kid. You get assigned to a rifle company as an individual replacement. You don't know anyone. Nobody knows you. The men who've been fighting for months look through you like you're already dead. They call you the replacement, not your name. The replacement. The last guy who had your spot took a mortar round outside Aachen 3 days ago. You have his bunk, his foxhole, and roughly his life expectancy. Level 2. The rifleman. You're carrying 64 pounds of gear plus a 10-pound rifle. Helmet, ammo belt, canteen, entrenching tool, gas mask, K-rations that taste like cardboard soaked in motor oil. You haven't slept in 38 hours. You haven't been dry in 6 days. Your feet are swollen and white. The medic calls it trench foot. 3 guys in your platoon already got evacuated from it. The ones who stayed can barely walk. Your first firefight lasts 11 minutes. It feels like 11 hours. You fire your M1 at muzzle flashes in a tree line 200 yards out. You have no idea if you hit anything. The man next to you takes a round through the throat. He makes a sound you will hear for the rest of your life. You keep firing because that is the only thing your body knows how to do. The Army tells you infantry has a casualty rate 3 times higher than armor and 11 times higher than artillery. They tell you this after you're already here. Level 3. The corporal. You survived 60 days. That makes you a veteran. They pin a stripe on your sleeve and hand you 3 men. You're a fire team leader now. You're 26 and the kid on your left is 19. He arrived yesterday. He reminds you of your younger brother. You give him the position closest to cover. You don't tell him why. Your pay bumps to $66 a month. You're responsible for keeping 3 men alive in a war that has killed 137,000 infantrymen so far. The math is not in your favor. Level 4. The sergeant. You're an assistant squad leader now. 12 men in your squad. You report to the staff sergeant. You carry the same rifle, eat the same rations, sleep in the same frozen mud. But now, when someone dies, you rearrange the formation. You absorb the replacement. You learn his name, or you don't. Some sergeants stop learning names. It's easier. You make $78 a month. The Army's replacement system feeds you strangers one at a time. Soldiers with clean uniforms and terrified eyes. The Germans send whole units. You get a 20-year-old from Iowa who's never heard a shot fired in anger. He's dead in a week. You fill the slot. The machine keeps running. Level 5. The staff sergeant. You run the squad now. 12 lives. You decide who takes point. You decide who sets up the bar. You decide who goes left and who goes right when the shooting starts. Every decision you make is a coin flip between someone's kid going home in a box or going home breathing. You make $96 a month. Your knees are shot. You have a cough that won't quit. You've watched 40 men cycle through your squad since Normandy. You remember maybe half their faces. The ones you remember are the ones who died badly. The Army calls it combat exhaustion. What it actually feels like is simple. You stop caring whether you live. Not suicidal, just indifferent. The fear burned out months ago. What's left is a mechanical thing that loads a rifle, checks a perimeter, and eats when food appears. You're the most experienced man in the platoon, and you're 27 years old. Level 6. The second lieutenant. You're fresh out of officer candidate school, 90 days of training. They pinned a gold bar on your collar and gave you 40 men. You're a platoon leader. You make $150 a month. Your platoon sergeant has been fighting since North Africa. He knows more about combat than you will ever learn. He calls you sir and quietly keeps you alive. Your job is to lead from the front. Literally, you walk ahead of your men into whatever's waiting. In some divisions, platoon leaders lasted days. Not weeks, days. The Germans know what a gold bar means. They aim for it. You write letters home to the families of dead men. You use phrases like served with distinction and gave his life bravely. You don't mention that Private Kowalski from Detroit was cut in half by a machine gun nest while eating a chocolate bar. You don't mention that he was 18 years old and had never kissed a girl. Level 7. The Captain. You command a rifle company. 6 officers, 187 enlisted men. You're the old man. You're 28. You make $200 a month. You coordinate 3 rifle platoons and a weapons platoon. You answer to the battalion commander. You answer for every man below you. In the Hurtgen Forest, your company went in with 187 men. You came out with 57. Replacements filled the gaps. Then those replacements died. More came. Your company took 650% casualties over 6 months. That number means every position was filled and emptied 6 times over. You step on a mine outside a village whose name you can't pronounce. You lose your left foot. They send you to an aid station, then a field hospital, then a ship home. Your war is over. Your company gets a new captain by Tuesday. Level 8. The General. It's 4:15 a.m., June 5th, 1944, less than 24 hours before D-Day. You're Dwight David Eisenhower, Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force. You haven't slept. You smoke 4 packs of Camels a day. Your hands shake when nobody's looking. 156,000 men are waiting for your order. 5,000 ships, 13,000 aircraft, the largest amphibious invasion in human history. And you have to decide right now whether to launch it into a storm. Your meteorologist says there might be a break in the weather tomorrow. Might. You've visited 26 divisions this spring. You've looked those boys in the eyes. Now you're about to send them into fortified machine gun positions on a beach in France. You've already written the failure letter. You keep it in your wallet. Our landings have failed. The troops, the air, and the Navy did all that bravery and devotion to duty could do. If any blame or fault attaches to the attempt, it is mine alone. You give the order. You make $666 a month. 2,500 of those boys die on the beach the next morning. You will carry that number for the rest of your life. You will become President of the United States, and you will still carry it. Level 9. The Veteran. They send you home. You're 30 years old. You weigh 130 pounds. You have a medal and a discharge paper and a 1,000-yard stare that makes your wife flinch when she touches your shoulder. The GI Bill pays for a house. You get a job at a factory. You don't talk about it. Nobody asks. The nightmares come every night for the first year, then every week, then every month. They never fully stop. You flinch at fireworks on the 4th of July. You keep your M1 in the closet. You tell your son war stories, but only the funny ones, never the real ones. But somewhere, right now, another 18-year-old is getting a letter from the government. Korea, 1950, 5 years after the last war ended. They're issuing him an M1 Garand, the same rifle you carried, the same helmet, the same K rations, the same mud. The ranks change. The wars don't. And there's always another kid with a draft notice and a wife back home, boarding a train he doesn't want to be on, heading somewhere he's never heard of, to fight for reasons nobody's going to explain to him. That's the Army, not an adventure. A machine, 16 million parts, most of them replaceable, and it's still running.